My name is Peter Hunt. Today I'll be discussing Joel Beckerman's book, The Sonic Boom, co-written by Kelly Gray. Beckerman himself is a sound man. He's composed works and created sonic branding, as he calls it, for a number of companies, to include Mercedes, Disney, as well as doing work for the Super Bowl 45. The book begins with some kind of extremes of sound. So Beckerman talks about a 29-year-old profoundly deaf woman who gets cochlear implants and is able to hear for the first time. As you might imagine, it's quite overwhelming for her, but it also does a great job of illustrating to us, who more likely have been hearing all of our lives normally, that there are extremes to sound. There's something to be said about silence and things that we might not typically experience in our day-to-day life. He breaks out sound into sort of two sets: the sounds of frustration, i.e. the Apple computers failing and then creating a dissonant chord, which clearly links a bad situation with an annoying sound in the mind of a consumer. And he also talks about the sounds of enticement. So he'll talk about the sizzle of the fajita, which has led to significant success at Chili's. And of note, in a research study in the Marketing Journal, Correction Journal of Marketing, Argo, Popa, and Smith also found that there's a sound of enticement associated with names like Hubba Bubba and Jelly Belly, anything with a rhythmic naming. So not only do we get the actual sound of the food cooking from the sizzle, but we can also get an effect from the actual name itself. He also finally talks about boom moments. Boom moments are those where an emotional response comes from the sound itself. Effectively, you get a number of sensory perceptions all from one sensation. For example, a dinner bell being rang might remind you of home. It might remind you of home cooking, any number of things beyond just the sound of a bell tinkling. And then finally, he talks about some of the music he's written. A notable quote here: Aaron Shinkott, who's the CEO of Music Dealers, is a licensing company that licensed to major companies like Coca-Cola, states that music creates the value that brands need to win the war for attention. So it's clear there's some value there in music, and we'll get into some of that later as well. Some of the things I agree on here is the obvious potential. So, for example, an ice cream truck. Someone like me, it's going to not only make me think I'd like ice cream or that's a great song, but it also might bring up a lot of past emotions, nostalgia, etc. I also like the discussions about the extreme of sounds. It's clear there's some powerful effects from that. I appreciate that he addresses the idea of experience versus sound. So from a marketing perspective, he talks about Harman Kardon and Beats Audio, and sort of a sound quality versus an all-in-one package thing. Ease of use, appearance, endorsements, things like this that actually can help us sell goods. And he also highlights some of the potential negative backlash of inappropriate use of marketing. He talks about Nike's usage of the Beatles song Revolution in 1987 to sell shoes, even then a corporate giant. Not really a viable link between the music and the shoes or the product in the eyes of the consumer. Some of the things I disagree with, he really doesn't get into the internet and how we can bring sound in there. He talks about Google not having a sonic strategy. My response to that is, if I'm using a Google product, I probably don't want to actually hear any sound. I just want to get work done without being interrupted. And he doesn't really get into sound as a part of a whole. For example, fajitas that smell bad or taste bad, even if they're sizzling, I'm probably still not going to eat that. Of note there, in the Harvard Business Review, they talk about all five senses mattering, and I would definitely support this. So we got to not get past just sound and move from there. So in conclusion, I would say the book definitely tackles a lot of good areas. It's not exactly marketing focused, but it certainly opens up some great ideas. I agree with most of his premises. I'd like to see it fleshed out a little